me, Mario. Hello.
As a kid growing up in the 90s, I was in love with a Nintendo 64, just as many other kids my age. And for good reason, there are many gems on the console, and even some bad games that we'd like to forget. Well, here today I'm going to take some time to talk about my 5 favorite Nintendo 64 games. Hello, I've spent all day watching my nephews play the Nintendo 64, and I have a lot to say about it. This is one of my nephews. This is my other nephew. Hello.
That means he's my cousin.
Number 5. Released in 1997 for the Nintendo 64, Mischief Makers is a game made by Treasure and published by Enix, where the main character Marina is out to rescue her creator, Professor Theo. The game is the first 2D platformer released for the Nintendo 64 and adopts its graphic style that uses 3D backgrounds and 2D gameplay with pre-rendered sprites using a similar method to the Donkey Kong Country games. The gameplay is unique, designing levels around a grab and shake mechanic that feels great at many times. This game was not a critical success, but is definitely one you should check out if you enjoy 2D platformers. Number 4. Star Fox 64, released in 1997 for the Nintendo 64. What else is there for me to really say about this retro game?
Did you just say retro 1991 and we're reviewing a retro game that's 20 years old?
Actually, I just said a retro game, but feel free to review it, my friend.
Oh, this is right up my alley since I love the retro games. Star Fox 64. Basically Star Fox like the Super Nintendo version, but a lot better graphics, a lot better movement of the controls. It came with the Rumble pack you installed in the back of your N64, and it made your controller vibrate when you got hit by their lasers and any other attacks. So, it's a third-person shooter. Don't get any ideas about the vibrating. So it's a third-person shooter, and you are Fox the Cloud, with Peppy, Slippy, and Falco. And you're on a mission in the Lilat system, going from planet to planet. There was 3 ways to go, and you're going to defeat Andross, your mortal enemy, on Venom. Back to you. Or did you disappear again, Houdini? Do a barrel roll like that.
Number 3. Released at the launch of the Nintendo 64 in 1996, Super Mario 64 was the first 3D game many of us had actually played. With a revolutionary camera for the time, fluid controls, and a sandbox level design, it paved the way for many 3D platformers moving forward. There are 120 stars to collect, secrets to find, different caps that give you different abilities, and a difficulty balance that leaves you with a feeling of accomplishment rather than dread when you finally acquire that star you've been working on. It has in many ways not aged well, but the core fun that the game was known for is intact and every bit as good today as it was when it blew our minds as kids. Number 2. When I got my Nintendo 64, I got the DK64 bundle Jungle Green console, and I loved the time I put into that game collecting all 201 bananas. But really, there was another game that I loved even more, and that was Banjo-Kazooie. Released in 1998, Banjo-Kazooie takes what started with Super Mario 64 and makes it even better. It adds in new moves that you can learn by finding bottles to mull and a sense of humor that only Rare could deliver at the time. Collecting the Jiggies were fun and very rewarding, and it had an atmosphere that was creepy and fun all at the same time. It is still one of the greatest games I have ever played, and the Xbox 360 version is a worthy update to this amazing platformer. There is a charm that only Banjo-Kazooie can give, and it will always hold a place in my heart. Honorable mentions: Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Just kidding. Perfect Dark. Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 64, Paper Mario, Number 1. Not many heroes can stand against the greatest evils we could have ever known. Not many could take down a great evil that threatens the world. Not many could fly through hoops at an astounding skill level. Seriously, I tortured myself getting footage for this video. I am some kind of superhero right now. Now, before you decide to shoot me or burn down my channel in protest, let me correct the record by introducing my number 1 Nintendo 64 game. This is a game that will live in infamy. This is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I want to begin by telling you why this game is special to me. When I was a kid, I remember my mama getting this game, and her, my aunt, my brother, and my sister, as well as myself, would gather around the TV and play this game, always pointing out possible solutions to puzzles and figuring out the way forward together. It became a great bonding for us, and this is why I smile every time I fight a dead hand, or when I face off with Shadow Link. These are all events that stick out in my mind. This game revolutionized gaming forever with a targeting system and a huge open world for the time to explore. Ocarina of Time is rightfully loved for everything it did for the entire industry, and this is why it is my number 1. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe down below for more content like this in the future. I am always working on new content and collaborating with others. I want to thank Retro1991 for stopping by to lend his commentary to a game we mutually love. Until next time, be good and keep gaming.